Beautiful, but at times, non-forgiving. That's how I describe the treacherous trail of the Napali Coast. Already difficult enough, but if you want to up that challenge, go when it rains. The Kalalau Trail is one of the most difficult trails I have ever been on, but for you fitness junkies, I'm sure it's a piece of cake. I did this hike fresh on the heels of hiking the Grand Canyon. I thought after hiking that, this would be no problem. After all, the hike to the Grand Canyon and Kalalau Trail is about the same distance. That reality couldn't have been farther from the truth. That's me there, pretty much at the start of the trail. I did this hike with my best friend Rudy. She's a hiking junkie too, but none of us are in the greatest shape. Trust me, if you are in average shape, you can do this hike. Just know that it will be painful. The first portion from the trailhead to Napali Beach is frequented by a lot of day hikers, so expect to see a lot of traffic. There wasn't much traffic when we went because we started the hike very early in the morning. It's a good thing we did too, because it took us almost the entire day to get to the halfway mark. The sad part is, I heard that some people make the entire trek in 11 hours. 10 hours only got us halfway. Can you blame us for taking so long with beautiful views like this? I don't think we could go more than 5 to 10 minutes without taking a picture or shooting video. That's Napali Beach down below. Once you reach that point, you can say goodbye to all the day hikers. From there, they usually go down to the beach or upstream to see the waterfall.
I don't think yet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. 82 people! 82 visitors.
Did I mention the beach here is extremely deadly because of the undertow? And this video is about 6 years old, so I'm sure that number has risen. As you can see here, we've come to our first of many stream crossings. Depending on the weather, crossing these streams can be extremely difficult. A few years ago, people had to be helicoptered out because the streams had risen to an unsafe level. Frankly, there is no way I would hike this trail if it was forecast to rain. Later, it will be apparent why. That was easy enough. So we pressed on. As the sun was starting to go down, we decided to set up camp at the halfway point. Kauai is conveniently located near a stream. However, it is important that you treat your water. I won't bore you with specifics. Let's just say that there can be harmful things in the water. Of course, it's nothing that an iodine tablet can't fix. Did I mention that I hate iodine tablets? A better option is to filter your water. Trust me, your water will taste much, much better. So we decided to set up camp. Silly me tried to spice things up a bit by placing a bet with Rudy. I told her that I could get a fire going before she could set up the tent. How do you think that went? Did I mention that I never started a fire before? So we each did our own thing. She worked on pitching the tent, and I worked on getting a fire started. I was certain that it would be easy, and I'm sure it is. Just not for anyone who hasn't started a fire before. At the end of the day, I lost that friendly little wager. Rudy had the tent and the hammock up, and I was still trying to light a fire. The next day, it was time to traverse my favorite part of the hike. It's called the Crawler's Ledge. I don't think you have to work very hard at imagining why they call it that. With just one look, it becomes apparent. Before I got going, I took a moment to assess the situation. As I said before, sometimes we all do things that simply make no sense. This certainly could be one of those times.
Take care.
Take care is a saying that Rudy and I always say to one another. It basically means, don't bust your ass. As you can see, the trail is literally right on the face of the cliff. If you were to slip and fall, the odds are good that you would probably meet your maker. Hence the reason why they call it the Crawler's Ledge. This is no place for someone who's afraid of heights. I personally do have a fear of heights, but it still doesn't stop me. Of course, it wasn't raining the day we did this portion of the hike. Had it been raining, I'm not so sure I would have done this. The view is stunning. Make sure you take the time to enjoy it. Just make sure you wear a decent pair of shoes when you do this hike. Having said that, I encountered 2 or 3 people that made the entire 11-mile hike barefooted. Who does that? Finally, the most difficult portion was behind us. The rest would be a piece of cake. Again, I took a moment to enjoy the view. It was incredible. Not completely out of the woods, we moved on, slowly inching to Kalalau Beach. I could see why they call this place the Crawler's Ledge. There were plenty of times that I thought about crawling. I was literally on the edge of a cliff, surrounded by incredible views like this one. Hawaii truly is a paradise, but could easily become a nightmare. With the hard part behind us, we gained momentum as we looked at our final destination off in the distance. We were literally on the home stretch.
That's our beach down there, you know.
Rudy was right. That was our beach. But like so many other situations, the last portion of their journey can seem the longest, and this was no exception. I was eager to get to the beach, set up camp, and just chill. Unfortunately, we still had to finish the last mile. With the journey almost complete, the trail brought us closer to the ocean. The waves were a bit rough. I found myself with renewed energy as each step brought us closer to the end of the trail. Finally, we arrived. After setting up camp, we went down to the beach to enjoy the fruits of our labor. The beach was gorgeous, but notably, no one was out swimming in the ocean. The current was way too strong. The waves roared onto the shore. It was quite a relaxing sound to hear, but it seemed odd not to see anyone in the water. Rudy heard the calls of the ocean. I could tell she was thinking about going in. Before I knew it, shorts were off and she was headed in. And Rudy didn't walk, she ran to the ocean. As for me, I decided to take a walk along the beach. One special note, when you come here, Don't set up camp too close to the cliffs. There are mountain goats that dwell on the cliffs and like to kick rocks. Don't let your trip to this paradise be ruined by a head-cracking goat. They say in life, it's about the journey, not the destination. But I'm here to tell you, although it may be true, the destination is pretty freaking awesome. Good job.